Welcome to my channel, Little Lemur's Write-O-Rama. Today I'll be reading my story that I wrote, My Trip to Madagascar. Appreciate what you have. As someone who vanished, I can tell you from first-hand experience that appreciating is very important. Hurry up with the floor, Lucy, my sister Angela Lopez shouted at me. I groaned inside. I was tired of my sister bossing me around, but I didn't say anything. Instead, I hid my anger silently. I finished packing the things on the floor and moved on to the bookshelf. There were tons of stories, and I didn't know where to start. I looked around, and one special book caught my eye. I pulled it out and started to examine it. The book was thick and dusty, and with just one look at it, I already had the urge to open it and read all of the fascinating stories inside it. So I opened the book. There was a blinding light, and before I knew it, I was sucked into the book. When I woke up, I found myself on the grounds of Madagascar, the land of lemurs. Slowly and cautiously, I got up. I dusted myself and finally recovered from shock. There was a sign above me. It read, "Welcome to Madagascar," except a lot of letters were missing, so it actually said WLEOEOADASCA. Usually I would laugh, but I was scared. There was no one with me and no tools to help me. I was all alone, and loneliness was my biggest fear. I shivered, but despite my fear, I decided to keep going and maybe explore. The forest was packed with leafy trees, and I could hear birds calling in the treetops. It must have rained here yesterday, I thought, because I saw raindrops shimmering on the leaves. Madagascar was beautiful, but I just couldn't stop and admire the beauty. I was too homesick, too lonely, and I could feel the knot in my stomach. It was like all of the negative feelings were mixed together and poured into me. I sat down, helpless, as the day went by and the wave of sleepiness washed over me. Days raced by as I explored Madagascar. Every time I explored, tears started washing into my eyes. The thing I wanted and needed the most was my sister Angela Lopez. I closed my eyes and had a quick flashback of when I told her a joke so funny that water came out of her nose. I was filled with despair for days and days until one day it all changed. I woke up with a ring-tailed lemur above my head. It chirped so loudly it hurt my eardrums. Clearly, it was trying to show me something. The lemur ran forward, and I had no choice but to follow it. My heart was beating, and my face was beaded with sweat when we stopped at a giant rock. My hand reached out to touch it, but something about the rock's presence worried me. Was I going to disappear into some other faraway land? Was I going to get hurt? I felt like a volcano, my body bubbling with hot thoughts ready to erupt. Doubts swam in my mind. What if the rock would teleport me back home? I could feel the whistling wind blow into my face as if it was trying to give me confidence. So I set my hand on the rock carefully and cautiously. A blinding light appeared, and I shielded my eyes with my arm until the light faded. Before I could recover from my shock, I was sucked into the rock, and when I finally stopped twisting and turning, I felt a reassuring presence. Home. The feeling was remarkable. My heart soaring in the sky. I did it. I survived the wilderness of Madagascar all by myself. My heart was singing, and I was as happy as I could possibly be. It was then when I remembered something important. Angela. I ran to her room and hugged her tight. I wished that the hug could last forever. My heart swelled with joy and pride. When we pulled away, we just stared at each other awkwardly. But deep inside, I knew that it really wasn't awkward at all. Angela would always be there for me, even when I couldn't see her, because I loved her, and that's all that mattered.